Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Okay, you guys, we're going to have an interesting location today. Not my location, but Robert's location. So let me get sharing. I want to, we'll get him on here. There he is. Go as slick as possible today. Hi, Robert.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. I am going to share. So, what I'm going to get you to do is introduce yourself and let everybody know where you're from and what you do, and then we'll get started.
All right. Well, my name is Robert Cockrell. I'm from Mid-East Texas, and uh, spray foam is what I do.
You are a foam gun for hire, correct?
Yes, I am.
I was going to put that in the event, and then I thought, is that going to get flagged on Facebook? You never know, right?
That is true. That is
Yes.
true.
So I thought, well, I best leave that be. So, but we'll talk about that. So tell us where you're sitting.
Right now, I'm actually sitting in my trailer, in my new trailer, so you can see the machine behind me.
Right.
I would get up and walk around, but I kind of have a
Oh,
big,
you have a
big
lap
lump in
dog.
my lap.
You're gonna have to get up and tour it. I think they're gonna demand it.
We could do that here in a little while.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm so happy you came on.
Well, I'm glad that you had me.
Yeah. All right. Let me just get this shared in worldwide, and then you'll have my full attention. Okay, so I did look up the temperature. You asked me what the temperature was. It's 50 degrees here today.
50 Fahrenheit? Huh.
50 your temperature,
That's
yes.
yeah, that's a little warmer than I expected up there.
Here it's always a little bit warmer just because I think because we're by the water, maybe. I don't know, but it feels not as warm. It's
Yeah.
that dampy cold. So, yes, but all right. Well, I wanted to ask you, our live. Give me 1 second here. There. All right. So, when did you decide you wanted to come on A Coffee with Carla? It was after Rusty, wasn't it?
Yes, actually it was.
Yeah. And by the way, happy birthday to Rusty. It's his birthday today.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Rusty. If you're on here, I don't know if he is, and good morning to everybody who's joined us. So yeah, you reached out after Rusty's live, and what made you decide to do that?
Uh, well, Rusty is a little bit of an inspiration to me, along with a lot of the other guys
Yeah.
uh, in uh, in all of worldwide. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I took it. If they can do it, I can do it also.
Right.
So not trying to one up or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, doing something like this is not in my comfort zone.
Right. And I
So
think it's always everybody's scared, a little bit nervous to come on. And I'm always like, you're going to be awesome. I tell everybody the same thing, and it always ends up going well. So you're going to be fine. And I'm glad because this platform was created for people like you and me who just can share their story. And
hmm
it's, I feel like it's a little bit more relatable than, it's good to have people that are famous and all of that we can look up to, but I think it's everyday people that we need to hear from more too. So I'm
yeah.
glad you're here. But so give us
Well,
a go ahead.
no, go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to say you can give us a little background on how you got into spray foam and how did you
Okay.
get in here?
Well, before I was in spray foam, I was actually in the oil field. Was working pretty good there,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad was in the insulation business.
Oh, okay.
So he finally got into the foam side back in '06, and in '08 his guy was leaving, put in his 2 weeks notice and everything, And my dad approached me and said, "Hey, will you come uh, do this spray foam for me?"
Mm-hmm.
And because it was my dad, I actually did not give it a second thought and said yes, even though it was, at the time it was a massive pay cut. So,
Right. Yeah.
family first.
Right.
So, but then I worked for him for 7 years. Uh, I left from him and went to a company there in Granbury and worked for them for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were getting upset with the particular rig that trailer that they had, and I offered to buy it, and surprisingly he said yes, and he financed it.
Yeah.
Then once I bought that from him, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I don't want to go head to head against my dad, so I just started offering up my services to them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put it out to worldwide, and a few of the people actually took a chance on me, and it has taken off from there.
Yeah, you really have like, and how far do you travel? Will you go wherever you're needed, or
Well,
what's your radius?
coast to coast.
Coast to coast. Okay.
Yeah. In January of this year, I was in Florida working for Rodney Estes, and
Yeah.
that was all the way right before SPFA.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I went to I hauled the giveaway rig all the way back to Texas, turned around and drove back to Florida, picked up my rig, went up to Tennessee to help Dan Mothershed.
Right.
And then I've been all over Texas, a couple of places in Oklahoma, and just a few months ago I was in Montana. So, and possibly looking at Oregon either late this year or early next year if everything
Oh, okay.
aligns right.
Yeah. We've got one of the ladies in the Badass Women of Spray Foam. She started a spray foam company in Oregon.
You talking about
Um,
Paula?
yes. Yeah.
That's actually who I may be working for when I go
Oh,
up there.
great. Oh, she's so awesome. Like I've chatted with her a little bit behind the scenes too. So it's been great
Yep,
to see these ladies out doing that too. So that's going to be cool. You'll have to get some video and pictures.
I will try.
Yeah, definitely. So that must be quite, you're going into so many different climates. So Florida, Oregon, like those are all very different
Yeah,
climates. So,
yes, it is quite a bit different. That's why
mhm.
whenever I had my trailer built, I specifically designed it to where I can go all the way up to Canada if I so choose.
Right.
So it's fully insulated. I've got a rooftop heater and
Hmm.
everything. I oversized the machine, oversized generator, capable of doing 400 feet of hose. So
Wow.
it's, you know, I designed to be able to do what I do.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you travel, how often are you on the road? How many days out of the year
Uh,
away from home?
pr- Probably 90% of my time.
So that
So
makes it a little tough, I bet, being away from home that much.
that is correct.
Yeah.
I spent 3 weeks out in the El Paso area nonstop. Came home for 2 days and was gone again for another week.
Right. So who
So
holds down the fort when you're gone?
my wife,
Yes.
and you know,
Who is an awesome lady as well.
yes, she is. I could not be doing this without her, nor could I do this. I really couldn't do it without my son.
Hmm.
So, he's my partner in crime when it comes to all this and
Right.
everything. So he takes care of the trailer while I'm pulling the trigger.
Ah, okay. So it's just
So
the two of you that work, just the two of you on your team.
that is correct.
Yeah. That's awesome. And how does it work being family? Can that be tricky, or does it run pretty smooth, or how does that go?
For the most part, it runs pretty smooth. I mean, there's going to be the typical father-son arguments and stuff
Right.
like that, but he understands that, I may get on to him right now, but 30 seconds later, it's like it never even happened.
Right.
You know, it, it's, you know, it's not me being mad at him or anything like that. It's me wanting to always make him a better person.
Right. How old is he?
He is 20.
Ah, yes. So that, you know what, you do have to get on them just to do that very thing, because they sometimes, they like to, they think maybe they know a lot more than they actually do sometimes.
Yep.
I've got my oldest daughter is very she's she's great. She's very strong-willed. So it is very like sometimes you just have to go, you can figure that one out. Like I'm
Oh
gonna let
yes.
you just figure that out.
I have this next week. My middle daughter turns 18, and she's
Okay.
a redhead, real short
Oh,
redhead at that,
yes.
and with the attitude to go with.
There you
And
go.
then next week, my youngest turns 16.
So 2018 and 16.
Yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
Okay. Yes,
So
redheads. I am a fan of redheads. I love their fire and their personality. I think it's great.
yes,
Yeah. So who is asking? Oh, Ben is asking, do you spray all brands of foam?
yes, I do. Whatever is put in front of me, I'll spray it.
Okay.
I need to know my starting temperatures
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So I've sprayed almost every brand out there. So well over half of them at least.
Right. And you put up a post last night. Yeah, it was last night about somebody you were talking about using your equipment properly because somebody was sent to the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, so can
What?
you talk about that a little bit?
Okay. What happened? I was actually outside of the house, hooking up my trailer and stuff like that, and talking to the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hear a loud bang. Go inside. Guy's laying on the ground. The scaffolding is turned over on its side. Uh, he had. I don't know exactly how he was doing it, but I was told that he tried to crawl up the side of the scaffold, which
Oh,
was only one stack high, so it was maximum height 6 foot.
right.
But it all fell and it landed on top of him. It cut the back of his head
Oh,
and broke his
geez.
hand.
Oh, boy.
So
Yeah, I know safety is a thing that there's a lot of things that are talked about in the group or whatever, but like the safety thing is always kind of it's half joked about and half serious. And I think it's something that's got to be talked about a lot more.
that is true. That is true. That's why, whenever one stack, I usually don't put my outriggers on, but
Mm-hmm.
anything at all above one stack, I'll put them outriggers on because it
Right.
scares me, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many things. And I think when you've done this job for a long time, you can tend to get a little bit like you want to do a shortcut, or it's like any job. Like when my dad was farming, there's like you've done it for so long, so you might take this little shortcut, but that shortcut could cause big problems.
Yep. 99 times it may not hurt you, but that one time can really hurt you.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I know we're all guilty of it at one point in time or another.
Hmm. So you would see a lot of different how different businesses are run because you work with so many different people. So what would you say are some of the biggest lessons you've learned working with other businesses?
Uh, Stay organized.
Hmm.
A lot of them are pretty organized, and that's what I like about them.
Hmm.
So that I mean that's one of my biggest things that I see is how people are organized.
Right.
So
So how big are the companies you work for, do they range in how big are how big is the biggest company you've worked for and how small is the smallest? Does it
uh,
matter or is it?
well, you've got Kim and Tyler Riley. That's a husband and wife
Yes.
team.
Yeah.
So, and a single rig.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've helped them out a few times. uh, the contractor in El Paso area. He he's got a single rig. He doesn't really have a sprayer for it, but he stays so busy doing so many different projects. He doesn't have time to run his own spray foam rig. So that's
Oh,
usually
okay.
what happens when I go out there is I'm running his rig for him.
Right.
So, and that's usually on big projects. But as far as the largest company that I've worked for, that would actually have to be my old boss at Smart Seal. Uh, they have 2 double rigs and a trailer that I know of.
Right. Okay. So, what was I going? I had something I was going to ask you, and of course, I should write it down because I always forget to do that, though. Forget to write down the question I'm going to ask, and then forget the question. But so you've been in the business for how many years?
I got into the business in '08.
In '08. Okay, so it's been a while. And how did
Yes.
you find Spray Foam Worldwide?
Honestly, I don't remember, but I don't know who told me about it. It was probably Robin that told me about it. If I would have to venture to
Oh, Robin
remember.
Pence. Yeah.
Yes. So
Right.
love her. So
Yeah, she's an amazing lady. She really is. She helps people, goes above and beyond, that's for sure.
well, uh, when I was at SPFA and I saw that they had the PhD too,
Hmm.
I went and talked to them and said, if you make it in a 40, I'll buy it. Well, then I made the so-called mistake of I told Robin, and she made
Yeah.
it true. So
Be careful
when I
what
was
you wish for.
yes, I know. When I originally started talking to them, they were going to have it built in Arizona, and I said, no, that's not going to happen. I wanted Robin's crew to build it because I knew Robin real well, and I knew her guys pretty well too. And plus, it makes it local for me.
Right. Yes. So Josh Cotner's asking if you can show the rig. They can't wait. Your lapdog's gonna have to move.
Yeah, she already crawled down a while ago.
Yeah.
So
So now you got,
but,
tell us again, you just got this. So you've had it for how long?
I have 44 hours on the counter right now.
Okay.
I got it last Friday.
Yeah.
So, but it's you know the typical new rig issues I've
Hmm.
had. But other than that, man, it's been a workhorse. So just trying to get everything, uh, you know, learn all the new stuff about it. I
Hmm.
mean, there's still lots about the screen and stuff that I don't know about that I'll
Right.
have to get with PMC and really learn. But you know, and just doing my personal touches to it and
Right.
stuff like that.
You got to make it
So,
your own. Yes.
yep.
And
So
I know,
probably
go ahead.
go ahead.
I
No,
was
you
going to
go ahead.
say, what people are probably very curious what you're going to put on the outside of that rig.
Actually, I will probably have I've got this one right here. So I don't
Yeah.
know if you can see it very well right now.
Yeah.
That's eventually going to go out there,
Hmm.
but I'm not going to have anything that says my company name on it. It's going to be spray foam related. So
Right.
I'm doing some research right now to find out. I want it to look classy in a way,
Hmm.
and but not have a really a company name on it, so that a way uh, I'm not the whoever I'm working for doesn't think that I'm trying to take business away from them. You know,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's the whole premise of why this trailer doesn't have anything on it yet, or even my old one. It still says spray foam insulation on it, but it doesn't have a company name at all.
Right. That I
So,
think, and that's very smart because I mean, you are working for so many different people. So yeah, that's very smart to do that.
yeah.
So what would you? So this now, this is your first, so you have one other trailer, you said, right?
Yes.
So you've got two. So do you guys take them both out, or is this the new one is the one that you're going to use all the time?
Once I work out the final bugs out of the new one, I will be selling my old one.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's just,
Okay.
I just want to make sure that all my bugs are worked out. See, that's my new one right there,
Yeah.
and then there's the old one right over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
Good. So what would you say are some of the biggest learning lessons you've had in this industry in your experience?
uh, let's see, how was it put? Slow is fast, fast, or no, slow is good, good is fast. So if you take your time and do the job right the first time,
Mm-hmm.
it, you know, then you don't have to go back multiple times.
Right.
So,
Jennifer Edwards is asking, you preferred the gooseneck design for pulling it better.
yes. Now I probably could have gotten by with not going as tall, but I put my generator up in the neck, and I wanted plenty of room on that. So,
Okay. So for the newbies in the group, because I know they're always watching and they're learning from you guys that have been around for a long time. And the newbies are the ones that I always like to make sure you guys make some comments about, what are some things that they should really focus on and learn in the beginning, because that's, we all know the ones that post and then they sometimes they get some harsh criticism. So
yes,
what
they
would you?
have. I have noticed
Yeah,
that
yeah.
some of the new guys have been posting, and some of the people have slammed them.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to slam anybody. Uh,
Yeah.
I try to help them out. Usually whenever somebody says, "Well, I've got this problem going on," first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a lead-up question. You
Right.
know, like a guy posted earlier about having a problem with his stick pump. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, you know, I told him to check his one of his pins,
Yeah.
and then the guru Wendell Gossett joined in. There was nothing else I could do. The master was there.
The master was there. Yes.
That is correct.
I do have to say that you always add a lot of value to the conversation always. And I notice that you always are very calm and you are always very logical with what you are asking and what you are responding with. And I think that that is so key it doesn't matter how long anybody's been in the industry really, because you can always learn something. If you've learned
I'm
it
learning
all,
every day.
right? And if you think you know it all, you're in the wrong group. So I think it's when you do that, you are adding such value. And those people who are nervous to even ask a question might come forward and they
Now,
might ask those questions.
I've had a few private message me asking me questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I always try to answer to the best of my ability with what knowledge that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't answer it, I know people who can.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid to ask, you know.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's huge because it is when you are new entering into that group, it can be intimidating, and not because it's been set up that way. That group has been organized and run very well, and it's as we know, it's the best run group on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, but I remember I wanted to ask a question in the beginning, and it took me a year before I would post my question because I thought I'm gonna get this is not gonna go well. I'm probably asking such a dumb question. And I ended up getting it ended up being fine. But it was nerve wracking when you're
Yeah.
doing those things. And you think, I probably should know the answer to this, but I don't know for sure. So,
Yeah. Well, it's like Jennifer just said,
yes.
and I've heard all my
I
life.
gotta put my glasses on.
The only stupid question is the one not asked.
Exactly. That's so true. That is so true. What is Ben saying here? A lot of older members have stopped posting due to their over criticism in the group. What are your core values and a good spray foam?
That last one, I'm not quite understanding that question.
What are your core values? And I don't know, Ben, are you asking, oh, what are your core values and a good spray foam job?
Oh, okay. Well, I try to do the best that I can do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, try to make it look as pretty as I can. You know, when I worked for my dad, you know, I thought that I was pretty good at spraying foam.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I left there and went to work at Smart Seal, you know, I was going up against Carlos, you know, Hispanic
Mm-hmm.
guy. He made spraying foam look so easy.
Right.
I'd sit there and watch him. He'd be up in a lift and he'd just be dancing, literally dancing
Yeah.
while spraying and just lay butter.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, I tried to get as good as he did.
Right.
Then I joined Worldwide and I'm like, oh, I still
Oh,
have a long way to go.
that is the common response to everybody. I've seen that more than once before. Like, I thought I was good at what I was doing, and then I joined this group, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
But
got room for
that's one
improvement.
thing that I love about this group
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, it sets a standard for all of us to strive to do.
Right. Keith Bowie says integrity and honesty is what you get from Robert Cockrell. And I agree. That is very true.
Well, I appreciate that, Keith. I
Yeah.
try. I try to do the best that I can do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always those conversations when people will post about, they'll post pictures and it's this whole conversation about whether foam is ugly or if it's pretty. And people get into that whole battle of, it doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't need to, as long as it's there, the customer's happy. What are your
Yep.
thoughts on that?
Uh, as long as you're not, as long as you're not leaving pockets, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone to jobs where uh, it didn't look good, and when you get into inspecting, you could see bare metal.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been to jobs where it didn't look pretty, but there was plenty of insulation and it was a good seal.
Right.
So
And Keith also wanted to know have you ever walked away from a job?
yes, I have. I did a retro one time that uh, the old insulation wasn't removed, and I would not do it.
Mm.
So I was also having a few other issues at the time, so it kind of worked out best for both of us because my head wasn't really in the game at the time.
Right.
So
Is that, do you find that have you run into that often or not that often where you have to like just say, I'm not doing this job?
no, actually, that's probably in the 11 years that I've been doing this, maybe the second or third job that I've turned down.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
So
Yeah.
now I've done some really tight crawl spaces before where it took me all day to do 500 feet. But
Right. Yes. Jennifer Edwards is saying proper install and effective foam is key, not beauty is all cases. Foam isn't a finished product. I think some forget that. Dave George says not every job is going to be a gem as long as you get it done right. If it looks awesome, that's a great bonus. And
thank
Bill
you, Bill.
Bilbin, yeah, Bill, that's right. We could use more people like you in the industry. Keep it up. That's for sure. And I noticed that you're wearing a very nice hoodie. You're
Yes,
sporting a very nice hoodie.
that I am. I am
Yes.
spray foam worldwide all the way.
Yes. What how can you guys, what is the temperature there that you're wearing a hoodie?
It's probably in the 60s here, maybe.
Oh, so it's cool there.
Yeah, it's cool. Now, if I stood over in the sun, I wouldn't need it and stuff like
Right.
that. But, I mean, people think I'm crazy because I wear pants year round. When
Oh,
it's
okay. Yeah.
105 degrees outside, I'm spraying in pants.
You've
A
got
lot of
pants.
people are down into their skivvies,
Oh
and
my God.
I can't do it.
How do you stay? Okay, so if you're in pants and it's 105,
My
we should.
wife says it's 56 outside right now.
Oh, there you go. That sounds better, Melody. That sounds that's more hoodie weather. How do you? Okay, so tell us a bit about hydration and what do you do to stay hydrated and not to get heat stroke?
About every hour, I come down
Mm-hmm.
and I drink. Let's see if I don't know if you can see them right there. Do you see the Gatorades back there?
Yep.
So I've been known to go through 2 or 3 of them in a day.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's lots of drinking to do.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I've at the end of the day I've been wet all the way down to my socks.
Wow. And you just don't. It's like a comfort thing that you like. Why are you spraying? I know this is a weird question, but why are you spraying pants when it's 105?
Because I don't like the feel of concrete or wood on my bare knees.
Mm,
That's my biggest thing. And I've grown up in Texas, and all of my life, I was basically a ranch guy, stuff like that.
right.
Helped my dad with cattle and stuff. So I've always worn pants and just never got into the habit of wearing shorts. You know,
Ah, okay.
so you
Keith
know,
says he's got a job for you, but he'll have to stand guard just in case there's a polar bear that shows up.
well, I still have to get my certifications for up there in Canada,
Yep.
along with my passport. So
Ah, there you go.
I've been too lazy to get my passport lately, or too
Ah,
busy, should I say?
you got to, yeah, you got to come up here and you will see a polar bear where Keith is probably.
Yeah. Let's see. He's on East Coast, right? Keith?
He's more he's closer to the west coast.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But up north in Manitoba, there are polar bears up there. So,
Holy
yeah.
cow!
Yeah. That's a
Now
legit thing.
I've been to Halifax before when I
Oh,
was in the
okay.
military.
That's the end of the country where Dave George is.
Yes.
Yes. So, Nick is asking, how are you enjoying this the tsunami air drying system?
Oh, that
He said
so
we love
far
it.
it's been great. The biggest thing I love about it right now is I love the color.
Oh, okay.
Well, hey, purple is my favorite color, so.
There you go. There you go. Oh, Dave says he sweats when he's tying his boots. Oh,
Who's that Nabil guy?
I'm not sure. He wants you to call him though. Not sure who that
Okay.
is,
Well,
but
Nabil,
anyway,
send me a personal message with your number if you're in country or everything. I'll give you a call.
there you go. Um, so I guess I should ask you a little bit more about your family because that's the thing I like to ask men because women are always asked this question. So, how do you balance all of this traveling at home? You're not home, you're missing your family. How do you deal with being away from them all the time?
Well, it's something that me and my wife have grown accustomed to because when we met, I was still in the military. I was in the Navy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So,
that.
yes, ma'am. I did aviation electronics and was
Oh,
stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
okay.
So, but I would be gone for 2 months 6 months at a time, depending on what we were doing, because I was stationed on ship. So when we first got married, she got accustomed to that. Then when I got
Right.
out, I bounced around and did a couple of different things and stuff. Was a truck driver and stuff. So I was gone for, a week at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got into the oil field, she'd call me and she'd say, "What time are you going to be home?" I'd say, "Anywhere between noon and midnight tomorrow." And I kid you not, there was
Yeah.
more than one time that I would walk home or get home, walk up to the front door, put my hand on the door, the phone would ring, and I'd turn around and get back in my truck and be gone for another 4 to 6 hours.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I
So
was
you
just
have to have
one
a
of the,
strong partner to be doing what you do
yes,
that supports you. You guys have been married for how long?
22 years.
Wow, congratulations. That's a
Thank you.
milestone for sure
That it
in this
is.
day and age.
So
Jen is saying that she is an outstanding woman. All spray foam wives have to be for sure.
that is correct.
Yeah, it's a different life. That's definitely. And I mean when your kids were little, that must have been very hard
Yes,
because they're all close in age.
that they are. That they
Yeah.
are. Which luckily I was working local during a lot of their growing up.
Hmm.
So, I spent, like I said, 7 years working for my dad.
Right.
So I got to see most of them through their junior high and high school years.
Hmm.
So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough, marriage is tough, or I don't, marriage, living together, whatever people choose to do. But I mean, it's hard at the best of times, but when you throw a little bit of distance in there, it takes work. It takes a lot of work.
that it does. That it
Yeah,
does. I mean, there's lots of trust and stuff like that that has to be going both ways.
right.
You know,
That's for
because
sure.
that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is, yes, she's at home,
Hmm.
you know, so I have to trust her, but
Yep.
yet I'm gone all the time and on the road, you know, she has to trust me,
Right.
which I'm pretty much a hermit. So when I go get in the hotel, I don't go anywhere else. I don't.
Well, it's um, I'm gonna say Ron Fetzer says they entertained her while you were napping in Wisconsin. I
I
don't
don't.
know what that entailed, but
That was during our contractors meeting, and I was. That was also during our. Uh, now I'm trying to think of what our anniversary. We were celebrating our
oh, okay.
anniversary during that time.
Yeah,
So, we had a blast going to Mall of America and meeting with all those guys and stuff like that.
right. There was how many of you? Was there 50 of you guys?
I think all told there was 50, 54, something like that, but that was including spouses.
Right. Yeah, that's very cool. Like, I mean, that you guys were able to go do that and get together like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, especially when it was a 2 week planning is all it
Yeah.
was.
Sometimes those are the
So,
best. Those are the best times. Is the ones that have to
yep,
no notice and everybody shows up and it ends up being great. So,
yeah. I
um,
know when it was first presented and stuff like that, I was in Montana, and first thing I told them, I said, I can't do it. I said,
mhm.
my anniversary is important. Well, then someone suggested take her to Mall of America. So I asked my wife. She said, yeah, we can go. All right, let's go.
There you go, and off you went.
Yep.
Uh, John is asking, how much will the Vikings beat the Cowboys by tomorrow night?
I wouldn't know. Don't care.
Not a football
So
fan?
I watch it somewhat. I'm more of a Texans fan than I am a Cowboys fan.
Okay,
So,
because
but
that's college ball, correct?
no, that's NFL.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
Dallas
Oh,
Cowboys and
geez, see,
Houston Texans.
dang, I gotta brush up on my NFL apparently. I get mixed up sometimes with you guys down there with your college ball and the NFL, and who likes what better.
Yep. Oh, Ben, you want to
Yes,
see?
he's good.
It's a little dirty right now,
So everybody
but
to
there it
calm
is.
down.
Oh, can you see it? There we go. Fusion AP with a 47. So,
There we go.
but
And Jen
no,
says if her guy wasn't spraying, she's not sure she could handle it, honestly. Dave and his wife have been married for 17 years, and she's his rock, which he has an amazing wife, too. I've chatted with her, and she's awesome,
yep.
too. Yeah, I know, Ben. I gotta pick up on my American football a little better. I do watch it, so I don't know why I didn't know that was, yeah, now I feel
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, see, they televise American football up there, but yet I don't hardly ever hear of Canadian football down here.
Oh my, because you guys would laugh.
Yeah.
That it's not really, as my husband says, he's always like teasing me because, of course, where I'm from, it's like just a known thing that when you're from that province, you cheer for that football team. So he
Yeah.
always is teasing me. It's like, he's like, what is the CFL really? You never
Well,
mind. You're Canadian. You should like it.
I watch. Let's see. I watched an hour of TV the other day, and that's the first TV I've watched in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, if when you're on the road like that, that's got to be like you don't
Yeah.
get that time anymore.
Well, my son plays his Xbox and stuff like that, but usually when I get off work, it's late in the evening, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And for all intents and purposes, I troll worldwide and
Yeah.
help out there.
Right. And your wife is saying there is time I go out and with him and help.
Yes, like when I went and helped Dan Mothershed over in Tennessee, she
Yeah.
went and helped me.
Oh, okay.
And when I went and done a job up in Oklahoma, my son, and my youngest daughter went with us. So my oldest stayed home so that way she could go to the county fair.
Ah, well, that's awesome that you guys can do that once in a while. It doesn't
Yep.
make being away so bad then.
No, it doesn't.
So in your whenever this, I don't know how often this is, but in your downtime, what do you do? Do you have any hobbies outside of spray foam, or is that it?
I'm a volunteer firefighter.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. But usually it's, do a little bit of work around home, help out with the fire department, and work is about all I do.
Yeah.
So I've stayed so busy lately that which I'm making myself change, and my wife is helping me with it. Taking a little bit more time for myself because, working 4 weeks out of a month is hard on everybody when you're gone that whole time.
Right. Well, and the other thing too is you have to take that time because it doesn't matter. And I think as we get older, we need a little bit more time to recover
Yes.
from certain things. Ben is saying with so many different foams, you might spray what is your material flushing method?
Okay, well, my ISO side, obviously, I never flush. But whenever I'm on my resin side, I prefer a water flush. To me, that's the most efficient way. So, especially since for mine, which, like I said, I'm still learning, but my first 100 feet off of my machine is half-inch hose. And then I have 150 foot of the regular 3/8 which is what we're all accustomed to. And let's see, yeah, that's 100, and then it's 200 feet of that, so that's 300 feet. Plus, I have 100 or 200, or no, it's 100 feet that I've got put up in storage up in the neck of the trailer. So, even though I ordered 400 feet, I kept 100 of it in reserves.
Oh, okay. Shauna says, my husband bids the jobs and we go and spray them. If he's there, he likes to nitpick, so he isn't there when we spray much. But he's still constantly messaged for pictures and what the count is and how far we've gotten. That's why it's nice that when I'm spraying, can't message with a spray gun in my hand.
Yep.
There you go. It does take, it's a challenging thing, I think, to work as a husband and wife together too.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. That's why, my hat's off to Kim and Tyler,
Yeah, they do well together for sure.
Yep.
I
She
know
keeps him on the straight and narrow.
yeah, she was saying that she was going to try and they were going to be hunting, I think, this morning, but she was going to try and
Yes.
find a spot where she could watch the
Yes,
live.
I am jealous of her.
Yeah,
Which I love to bow hunt myself.
Oh, is
I
that what
think
they're
that's
doing?
all
Is
they
bow
do.
hunting? Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. She talks about it a lot. I know she loves it, so
Yeah.
that's good that they do the downtime. When I am there, he's the boss. I do whatever he tells me. That is your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I try not to boss her around. I do try to, tell her what needs to be done, but she doesn't want to learn to spray. She loves to help paint.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know when I would help Rex with on job sites and stuff, I love to do the cleanup and all that stuff too. There was specific things I liked to do and stuff that I didn't like to do. But painting I actually liked to.
yeah.
I didn't mind it. But so what would you say is the biggest takeaway from being in this industry?
The fact that when I go and do a job, or any of us go and do a job, we know that we're giving them the best product at this time, and we're helping the customers save money in the long run.
Right.
As long as they have an HVAC guy that understands foam and can size accordingly and set up their system to complement, you can't beat it with anything.
Right. And that's the biggest thing too, is educating.
Yes.
We talk about that, I think, on every live, is educating the consumers, because they don't understand it. So, that's the key thing too.
Yeah, that definitely is. We've had to, us as an industry have had to deal with companies like Owens Corning and stuff like that, constantly talking down and bad about us, that we're finally gaining a little bit of traction to be able to combat the negativity that they have directed at us.
Right.
And that's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find that so, I mean, I guess that's a business thing, but I think that's such bad business practice to bash. Like, it just makes no sense to me.
Well, it's like the old saying, everybody, all the older builders and stuff like that say, well, a house needs to breathe.
Yes, that is
Okay?
very common. Yes.
You don't leave your refrigerator door open so it can breathe, do you?
Right.
So, and it's made from foam. You don't leave the lid of your cooler open so it can breathe.
Right.
So, it's all in the design.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what people don't understand is, it's, I think for some out there, I mean, it's getting better, but they just don't understand the science behind it.
Yeah, it's it's all in the education.
Right.
And that's what helps.
So when you're talking to a potential customer, what would be the thing that you think that helps you make them understand that, and that is what they go with at the end of the day?
A lot of times I'll use that refrigerator analogy and stuff like that. And it's just showing them the difference tell them about some of my experiences. I did an open air building one time uh, for our local high school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they had added on. Well, we did between half inch and 1 inch because it was 20 foot up in the air, and all they were doing was wanting to knock down just a little bit of the heat. Well, there was such a noticeable difference in temperature from where we sprayed our foam to the
Mm-hmm.
vinyl back that they cut out the vinyl back and had us come in and spray that.
Wow.
And that was with a roof that had no walls on the side at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Tim Stratton says the HVAC is the lungs for the house to breathe, correct?
well, I guess you could say that. I'm not a real expert on the HVAC system, but uh, that along with the ERV or HRV,
Mm-hmm.
which is the fresh air system. I'm still learning how to understand all that stuff because I'm not an expert in the HVAC systems.
Yeah. Sean has heard that about the houses having to breathe things so many times too.
Yep.
Yeah. That is and you see that on posts and different things too. And it's really just, it's almost like you have to educate not only just the customer, but the builders and everybody else in the
Yes.
industry, in construction in general.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand it. So I guess a good question to ask too is because I find this interesting too, is how is it when you have to work with other trades on a job site?
It can be difficult at times.
Right.
You know, I did a job the other day where we were on one half of the house while the HVAC guys and another helper was on the other half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had our side completely plasticed off to where they couldn't get to it. So, and sprayed it. And then as soon as we were done, which it was already worked out with the contractor and everything, we flip flop sides.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I know that is a common thing because I've been on job sites. There's certain trades that just don't quite see eye to eye about anything. So it's
oh,
always
I've had
interesting.
contractors, I've had electricians get downright mad at me when I point out an issue and say
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I had one time where the electrician accidentally ran a wire on the sheetrock side of a board and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and the contractor literally started yelling at me over it and
Yeah.
griping at me because of their mistake. And I'm like, I'm just trying to save you a headache in the long run,
Yeah.
and you're wanting to get mad at me over it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I tell them, I said, if it was something that I could have fixed myself, but they cut the wire so tight that you couldn't fix it, I
Mm-hmm.
said, you would have never known. And
Right.
I've done that for homeowners before
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'll fix a wire if it's something within my capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Shauna said they've had an issue of people that have come through and sprayed what I'm guessing is open cell on roofs, and after so many years it fell off.
hmm,
Oh, interesting.
there wasn't very good adhesion,
No.
so they probably sprayed too cold and had an air pocket behind it.
There we go. Chuck says houses don't need to breathe, people do.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. All right. Well, I think I should let you get back to your day, but I am so glad that you came on. What
Well, I
is,
appreciate it.
yeah, what is Jenna saying? Bad mix. OC is a real good choice, just more touchy than closed cell. It really takes a lot of knowledge to install open cell properly.
That is true.
Oh, and then Shauna had to shield a plumber a couple weeks ago from getting polka dotted.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
So
Well, do you have anything else you want to add before we just to kind of wrap everything
uh,
up?
the fact that I appreciate everybody that's on this site,
Mm-hmm.
and if anybody has a question, I'll try to answer it the best that I can. Uh, you know, we're all here to make the industry better, and that's
Right.
what we need to strive for.
And if people want to get a hold of you because they want your services, how do they do that?
They can just direct message me uh,
Okay.
through Facebook.
Okay. That's great.
So,
And we look forward to seeing more pictures of this new rig
all right, thank
and
you.
what's going to happen on the outside of it and what you're doing with it. So,
Yeah, I'll
um,
have to talk with Bill and Robert and get some ideas from them along with possibly Aaron Hooten.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
she's great. I've chatted with her. She's awesome.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, I want something that's classy but doesn't have my name on it,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
because and that's what really surprised me when I started, offering my services.
Hmm.
I was like, is anybody even going to take a chance on me?
Right.
My old boss, he they had a going away party for me and signed a picture, and on that picture he put "See you in 12 months."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he thought I was going to be back working for him in 12 months,
Yeah.
and honestly, I did too. I thought I was going to fall flat on my face, and it has been steadily getting busier and busier to the point that, you know, a lot of times I'm booked 2 months in advance.
Right.
I've
Well,
already got uh, all of February is already booked up for me.
wow. Well, good for you. I mean, you see it all the time. Everybody's looking for good sprayers. So, I mean,
Hmm.
it's, to me, yeah, it makes sense what you're doing. And, you're able to help so many people out by doing what you do. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's
I'm
awesome.
I'm I'm not a permanent solution. I'm there to help them out
Hmm.
with if they get a big job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm there as a second rig that they may not be able to justify buying a complete second rig at the time,
Right.
or if they've got so many jobs that are booked up and they're behind, I come in to help them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Would you ever, now this is another question that you get the controversy is on people who are renting out rigs.
if they're renting to other spray foam contractors,
Hmm.
not an issue one.
Yeah.
But if they're trying to rent out to a general contractor or to a homeowner, they need to be shut down.
Right.
I'm 100% for the licensing here in America, like they
Hmm.
do up there in Canada.
Hmm.
We need something like that. We need to have the restrictions. We need to have the education. We need to have some type of trade school, uh,
Yes.
and that we can send people to get the education, because 3 days to me is not enough to be able to send somebody out to do a good job.
Right.
So it takes weeks to understand these systems, because what happens today may not happen tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Very true. Very true. Are you going to SPFA?
that is my intentions. I've been talking with Robert Vasquez, and there's a possibility, which I don't know yet, but I may be the one to pull the new giveaway rig to California for.
Oh, very
I would
exciting.
love to have that honor.
Yes, that's for sure. And you did mention that you pulled the one from last year
Yes.
back. That's right too. Yeah, that's right. I'm fingers crossed going to be there as well, so I'll get to shake your hand in person.
Well, thank you, and I
Yes,
look forward to meeting you too.
I look forward to meeting you and everybody else that's going to be there. It'll be fun. We've got some things going on in the works, and yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
All righty.
Okay, well, I will say thank you again for being there. Now, what is your dog's name?
Uh, Her name is Tiger,
Aw, she's
and
a sweetheart.
yes, she is. I would love to
Oh,
bring her,
she
but
doesn't, she hardly likes you.
nah, she doesn't like me at all. So she's just up my butt whenever I'm home all the time.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
You
she's a sweetie. What kind of dog is she?
uh, Commonly referred to as a pit bull, but American Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
she.
I got her when I worked at Smart Seal, and I actually would go up there and I would stay in a camper for a week, and then come home on weekends and stuff like that. Well, in the mornings I'd get up, open the door, and let her run.
Yeah.
Uh, no, no leash or anything like that. And there was a complex of about 4 different businesses, and she'd just go and visit every one of them.
Oh.
She became a staple there. So,
Oh my gosh, dogs are the best. They
oh
really
yes.
are. They're the best. So, all right, you go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I
And
appreciate the honor of you letting me be on.
oh my goodness, you are welcome back anytime you'd like. And thank you guys, everybody who's tuned in, and we'll share it. I'll share it so people can watch it later if they were busy working and stuff, so they can watch it when they get some time. But thank you guys for always tuning in and watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.